Welcome to Counting Fingers, my first solo show in the United Arab Emirates. I'm Hana El-Sagini and I'm happy to take you through a tour of this show that's happening in Gallery 1 in 421 Arts Campus in Abu Dhabi. And I applied to this artistic development program because I wanted to experiment freely, introduce myself to the United Arab Emirates art scene as I moved more than a year ago. So I wanted to introduce myself to the art scene with this new body of work. In this show, I created an immersive installation of more than 200 pieces of ceramics, a material that's new to my practice. I wanted to create this space where there is a thin line between reality and imagination. So in Gallery 1, I created this immersive experience that I wanted to be very confusing to the audience. I created a hospital waiting area and a clinic that is all to scale of the real actual pieces. And this came after my long personal adversity, where there was a very thin line between reality and imagination, because the personal adversity was so strong. It made me do not want to believe it's true. So it made me create a new fiction, a new reality in my head. And this is where this entire show is emerging from. So Counting Fingers is a name that also has a double meaning. And it's also a thin line between humor and reality. It is counting the number of sessions. When something is too long, you kind of lose track of time. So you need to always count the number of people, number of visits, what is left, how many medicine that is left. And on the other hand, the number of people that were involved in my sickness, in my journey, who examined me, who I met, and were part of finally my healing. So in this installation, I've created, I think, more than 200 or 300 pieces of ceramics. Ceramics or clay is a medium that it's my first time to work with and show. But when I was talking about adversity and illness and body parts, I thought clay was the best matter to work with. It's the most alive non-matter that exists, that I came across. It's sensitive like humans, it needs communication, and the outcome is never predicted, also like humans. So through this journey, I did not feel like it was only me. I was the sum of all the creatures, all the spirits, all the beings that were part of my journey. So this transformation led to me feeling and seeing things in fusion, spiritually or even physically. You will find objects that have body parts, chairs that have dog limbs. So all these pieces were part of my journey in the past 2 years. In this work, I chose not to glaze ceramics. Usually when you see ceramic pieces, they are glazed, they are very beautiful. But I took the clay as it is. I fired it and I accepted the result of the firing. I used different tones of clay to resemble different phases of the human body in sickness and in health. So you'll find the very light, pale, pink colors and very dark and adverse skin tones. Through this journey, I have lost some things. I've lost body parts, I've lost my hair, and no one wants to feel loss is permanent. We want to feel that it's reincarnated and it has another life. It's reincarnated to other objects. You will find plants that have braids. You will find corals that have different body parts. So all these were part of my mourning, my grief, to give these lost pieces another life somewhere else. Time is a very important factor in this work. I have working clocks this waiting areas in specifically are designed to make time pass quickly. They have plants, they have aquariums to soothe the people that are waiting. So time makes a very different experience when you cannot know when this journey will end. What time will it end? You know, when the doctor visit will end, when the sickness will it go away? You have all the questions related to time that makes the value of time and the meaning of time very different in times like these. In this show as well, there is a lot of humor. So I wanted to do this confusion. I wanted to create a very confusing experience to the viewer. Is this serious or is this funny? Is this real or is this fiction? Exactly like I was thinking. So we have working aquarium, we have working clocks, everything is to scale. So you wouldn't know, is this a reality or is this some sort of an imagination? Which is exactly what people go through in tough times. I wanted the spectator to feel like he is in a hospital. So in the clinic, I wanted to create a very typical setup, like how clinics in reality are furnished, but having a very intense take to it with how I see the scale, with how I see the examining table, the sink, all the material, all the medical equipment. And I made them as human and as flawed as possible to make it opposite to the real medical instruments that are so sterile and so perfect. So that was my human take on how I see them. You will see across the show a lot of signage, this way or you are next, because in hospitals you feel like you're very guided. You are pushed to the place that you need to go. There is order and there is organization. So I wanted the viewer to feel this order and organization in my show as well, like how you feel as a patient. You have a schedule, you have appointments, you have things that you need to do or medicine that you need to take. So I wanted the viewer to feel this urgency, and part of the confusions that I wanted to create in this show is play with fundamentals and definitions of art in itself. Blur all the lines and break all the rules between still life and figurative and landscape, between what is functional and what's decor and what's sculpture. So all these concepts that I was very well educated on, I really meant to break them, because when you are going through difficulty, a lot of the rules and a lot of the things that you believe in and a lot of the things that you know just blur and break. And this is what I wanted to do in this work as well. How ceramics are treated in the art world is very carefully. They're always put in a pedestal or inside a glass cabin. And because I'm talking about the human body and this invasion of privacy or the unholiness of how a human body of a female or a human being goes through in illness, I wanted to treat ceramics as humbly as possible, to make it so abundant and so precious that I just wanted to put it on the floor. Maybe someone would hit it and it falls and it breaks. And I just wanted to create this level of simplicity to a material that is usually treated in a very precious manner. Memory is another thing that's very prominent in this work, because when we go through difficult times, our memories go back to our childhood. Our memories go back to our favorite images that we see. The corals were created from the memories of snorkeling that I had as a child. The signs have children's songs that I remember. The memory of me being a mother, a partner, and a daughter. So all these aspects were things that I thought of during my journey and that are parts of this work. Thank you for accompanying me through the tour of Counting Fingers.